Good morning, everybody. It's almost afternoon, I guess. This is Wednesday. It's hard to remember what day it is. Wednesday, March 25th. So we're a week out from when we first closed our libraries. So I know a lot of things have been changing for you on the daily basis. And so I just thought I'd do a quick check-in. I know I had originally said that we would try to do some sort of a check-in with you daily, but it turns out that it's been a little bit more manageable to just do that check-in with managers and then let them communicate with you directly. I'm trying to figure out I don't have great lighting in this room. There we go. It's a little bit better. At any rate, I just wanted to say hi and to let you know that we're all thinking about you and that we are so very grateful that you're showing up every day at your libraries, and wanted to give you a few updates and some reassurances. So one of the things that I wanted to share is that you may have seen an Arizona Daily Star article today that talked about our pandemic leave and other things, and some of the stuff in that was inaccurate. And so if you've been reading the policy on telecommuting and all of that, and also pandemic leave and how that works, you will know that some of that stuff was not true. So I just wanted to clarify one specific thing is that pandemic leave is not anything that you have to pay back. That's a benefit that is coming to each employee, whether it be pandemic sick or pandemic child care. So I want to make that. While I'm on the topic of pandemic leave, I wanted to bring your attention to Mr. Huckleberry did just send out this morning a new memo that talks about how pandemic leave is to be utilized, and I shared that with managers. So they may be sharing more details with you, but the most specific thing is that the pandemic child care can be used intermittently, which was not clear when it first came out. And so if there are folks that you're needing to stay home with your kids for a part of the day while your spouse is working or something like that, and then but you could work, come into work for other times, or any intermittent, it just has to be used in 4-hour segments. And so that was a good thing for us to know about. So if you have any questions about that pandemic leave, the pandemic child care especially, check in with your manager about that. I do know that Michelle had a great meeting this morning with the CERC managers to talk about the handling of materials. And I think we've all come to the conclusion that a 4-day wait period before touching things is probably going to be enough. But Michelle will have specific details out that she talked with the CERC managers about that will be going up on the intranet as well. So stay tuned for that. The great good thing is that some stuff that we can start doing with the collection. I know we're a few days into now of the libraries that have had the cleaning with the well, not the cleaning necessarily, but the spray of disinfectant throughout the buildings. I think that's been going very well. People are not exhibiting any ill effects of that. Even folks who reportedly are often having difficulties with chemicals have said that this has not been an issue with them. So if you have concerns about that, you might check in with some of the branches who have already had it, and they could let you know how that's going for them. I did mention a few days ago, I had sent out information about other departments that are needing help and that you might have the opportunity to work somewhere else. Unfortunately, the county wasn't really ready for that, and so I'm hoping that later today an official form will be approved. And Mr. Huckleberry, one of the things that they needed to do was to do a temporary set aside of merit system roles that would allow people to work in different classifications for just this brief period of time. So, and it would be only for specific working to cover a vacancy for this short time. So the rules will come out about how that works. But I just wanted to let you know it still is in the works. So if you saw things that are opportunities that you were interested in other divisions, that will be forthcoming departments that I've heard from so far, facilities, Pima Animal Care is not walking dogs. It's more of like greeting people outside because they aren't having people come inside the buildings right now. The Office of Emergency Management is looking for some folks eventually, as well as Community CSET, which was One Stop, helping people to find jobs and things. So there will be some opportunities there as well as some other county administrative things. So stay tuned. We'll make sure that opportunities are posted, and as soon as I actually have the process that you go through to make that happen, I will have that out to you as well. So again, today my reason for connecting was just to say hi to all of you. I miss seeing you, even in the building. We're trying to distance, so we're not seeing people as much, and I know that's happening for you too. I know you all miss your customers, and they all miss you too. So thank you to those of you who are figuring out ideas of how to interact with people online and what that looks like. So again, take the things that you read in the newspaper with a grain of salt. If it says about the policies and procedures of the county, be sure and check the web pages that are with HR. Handling of materials, Michelle's going to be giving out specific instructions so you can get started working back with collections again. Pandemic leave can be taken intermittently on the child care portion, so pandemic child. And the county's tightening up a bit on telecommuting, so don't be discouraged if your requests are not approved. I did send out some specific criteria to everyone yesterday about looking really critically at your job if it really is something that can be done through telecommunication. That may change over time, but for now, we really need you to adhere to those guidelines. And we'll let you know as soon as we know about working in other locations. So I think those are all the things that I wanted to touch base on today. This is just quick a hello. Hope that you're doing well. Sending you a big virtual hug and letting you know that we're here for you. And please reach out through your manager, your service manager, or even just directly to us here in admin if you're having specific concerns coming up. And hang in there. We're all going to get through this together. One more thing I wanted to mention was just be sure that you read the stuff on the CDC webpage about this time. We should all be reminded that there are viruses around us all the time. Early in the year we had outbreaks of Hep A. We've had measles outbreaks and other different things, and those were all viruses, and those were all things that we dealt with over time. And the biggest contagion factor right now is between people, so that is why it is super important. If you are sick, go home and stay home for the time that you need to get well, because that's how this, more than the surfaces you touch, is the direct interaction with people, and that's why the social distancing in terms of really trying to do that 4 to 6 feet when you're in the building is really important. And yes, wiping down your surfaces is super important too, but because if you're like me, occasionally you do spit when you talk, and so if you find yourselves like stepping towards somebody, remember to step back a bit. And those are the kinds of things that we're just going to have to work with, and we should keep in mind all the time now as we're moving forward. I think we're into a part of history where we're all going to have to really rely on the fact that it is important to pay attention to our health and take care of all of those around us. So thank you, and I'm going to be having another meeting this afternoon at 2 with the managers, and hopefully another update for all of you at the end of the week. So take good care. Talk to you soon.